Goodwin here, and eventually we will like, subscribe, share, help rank up my channel, help promote it, all that good stuff. I don't typically talk about gaming that much on this channel because I can't stream it. I don't have the capability to monetize it. So it's not something I don't regularly play games that often because I can't monetize it. But Dead by Daylight is a game I've played for years. I've noticed I don't really follow them. I read the updates on their games, but I have noticed some other woke behavior, such as introducing somewhat chunkier women and all that body positivity stuff. I don't know if it was really about that, but they've done that. They've introduced more diverse characters and cast, and now they're talking about sexual orientation. I've had no problem with any of the characters they've introduced. Some of the killers are extremely frustrating. But Dead by Daylight is announcing diverse sexual orientation for future characters. Who thinks about the sexual orientation when they're running from killers, trying to repair generators and all that stuff? Who really thinks about the sexual orientation of these characters? Admittedly, I don't even dig in deep on all the lore surrounding the characters and all that stuff, just because it's not all that entertaining. I've read a bunch of the lore, but I don't find it that interesting or entertaining to read. Ultimately, though, who really thinks about the the sexual orientation of these characters? Who? I mean, I guess people might think about sexuality, since horror and sexuality tend to go hand in hand, but I don't know what the hell's going on here. I really don't, man. How many of you are actually concerned? Please comment down below. How many of you are actually concerned with the sexuality of these characters, whether they're straight or gay or bisexual? How many of you actually care? Because are you gonna get cinematic porn scenes in Dead by Daylight where they're going at each other? I don't think so. So if you were interested in that type of thing, you wouldn't be getting it either. So what does the sexual orientation of these characters really matter? Who cares? Please comment down below. Let me know what you think, because sexuality is not relevant in this game at all. In any situation does sexuality come up when you're running from killers or when you're the killer chasing other people. You don't catch people making out in a locker. You don't catch people hiding and getting intimate because they're heavy of breath and all close up in confined quarters and getting aroused from the thrill of things. Oh god. So the popular asymmetrical killer versus survivor game Dead by Daylight will definitely have more diverse characters in the future. Behavior recently announced that in the name of diversity and inclusion, they would be more conscious of the game's lore going forward. In a statement posted on the official Dead by Daylight Twitter, the developers explained, "In the past, we've mentioned that we didn't aim to give sexual orientation to our characters. The past was to let players create their own narrative and identify themselves with the characters they most relate to." It continued, "Now Dead by Daylight's lore is getting more and more detailed. We realized that we didn't stay true to this vision. We did set our characters' preferences in the past, notably in heterosexual relationships." Well, I guess I haven't really paid that much attention to the lore, because I didn't even notice that there was a focus on straight relationships. And do you know why? Because I don't play this game for relationships or sexuality. That's why. So we recognize that this no longer reflects our original positions as the game continues to evolve, and thanks to your previous feedback and questions regarding our characters' diversity, we have reviewed our plans and position. Whose feedback? Guys, get in the comment section and let me know who did this. Why are you concerned with the sexuality of these characters? You're not gonna get some intimate cutscenes are sexual situations. I'm not sure why I understand. Why? I don't know, man. The statement concluded, "We see Dead by Daylight as an inclusive game." Ooh, inclusive. And we're always looking to improve the way we reflect those values in our game. We are now better equipped to integrate diversified identities to the game and into the lore. How are you now better equipped? Because all the lore is just written. That involves typing. How are you now? That is just a clear virtue signal. You're now better equipped. All you had to do was type in some stuff. It's really not that hard, man. So that's an obvious virtue signal. We're better equipped. A message from the dev team. In the past, we've mentioned we didn't eat. And I already pretty much read that right there, so I'm not going to read that again. So who asked for this? What fans wanted this? I'm not knocking you. I'm just asking why. Why are you concerned with the sexuality of these characters? Why? Anyway, since the game launched in 2016, Dead by Daylight has always had backstories for its characters, but they were often brief and very vague. Ooh, because it is a horror mystery type game, man. And the lore, yeah, the lore could be better. The lore could be more fleshed out and less vague and better. But at the same time, you might eliminate too much mystery and intrigue. For example, in The Last Breath, they introduced the nurse and Nia Carlson, and here's how they describe. Okay, I'm not going to read how they describe them. Any player of this game can go read how they describe these people. But they've never really gone in. As you can see, there is no indication of sexual orientation. This trend would continue in Spark of Madness, where they introduced the Doctor and Fing, and the descriptions would get more in detail with Chains of Hate, but there was still no indication of sexual orientation. And I find it funny that they introduced like a journalist type of character, and then they introduced like the body positivity type character. I could tell that this game was leaning a certain direction, so I kind of figured that we would get to somewhere like here. But I really didn't think that sexual orientation was all that relevant or anything. And when you look at these characters, you literally can make up your own mind about who they are and who you want them to be. So what does it really matter in the end what the lore tells you or anything? Because no sex scenes or intimate scenes are going to come up that make any of this really all that relevant. So I'm just a little bit confused about why this matters to whoever asked for it. So it we'll just scroll down here. The description concludes, blah. Okay, there was no indication of these characters' sexual orientation in the description, and as you can see, there's just been no relevance to sexual orientation, and there doesn't need to be any. Why does there need to be some? With expanded lore in the game, the announcement is somewhat understandable. However, it raises the questions as to just how many players care either way. Yes, I want to know how many people care. Please comment down below. Again, I'm not going to knock you for caring about this kind of thing, but I am curious as to why you want it. Why you want it, because it's never going to be relevant in the game itself. There's never going to be cutscenes or sexual scenes. I don't think there will ever be, but then again, I didn't think stuff like this was all that relevant, and here we are now. So a particular character's sexual orientation isn't in the forefront of our minds. I agree. Do you disagree? And I'm not really going to go on into much more. To me, this is just a clear virtue signal, as it says here, virtue signaling and bending the knee to woke culture. However, if you actually do care about this stuff, let me know down in the comments section below, because I really want to know how many people are actually for this. How many people are actually for this that play the game, care about the sexual orientation of the characters, and why, when you know you're never going to get anything like a sexual cutscene or some kind of intimacy or anything like that, why do you really care about the sexual orientation of these characters? It just baffles me. That's the video there. Like, subscribe, share, comment, help rank up my channel and all that, and comment down below. Let me know your thoughts on this. If you're somebody that wanted this sexual orientation stuff, let me know why. With all that said, Fake Goodwin here. Eventually we will. Stay awesome. Rock on.